Morning, you lovely people. Little look around here. Nice day, I think. Work is going on down here. Someone's bought some land and building a little high corbo. 8 years, people, I've been in the Philippines. 8.5 years now. What have I achieved? You may ask. Well, I've achieved patience. I've achieved more patience because, oh, Carabao there. Because living here in the Philippines, you need patience, people. But really, seriously, what have I achieved? Well, getting married, having a son, buying land, building a house. Many of you will say, oh my God, that's not an achievement, that's purgatory. But to me, it's an achievement, which I wouldn't want to change it for the world. But being here for 8 years, or 8.5 years now, I've learned a lot. I've learned how to live a very simplistic life. And not because I have to, it's because it's just the way it is here. It is a very simplistic life. A life in which I've adapted to very nicely, thank you very much. Meeting great people, some great Filipinos, which have learnt me a lot in the way of, again, patience, and don't take what they say as gospel. Timekeeping I'm talking about. But really though, people, I haven't got any regrets. I've got no regrets at all of coming to the Philippines. Even though it can be challenging at times. And I've had some challenging times. It hasn't all been glorious being here. I've had some proper challenging times. But on the whole, I've had some really good times. And still am. I wouldn't want to change it for the world. And I know some of the videos that people put out, and myself included, it kind of puts you off coming here. But look, Jackie's found me. Jackie, here he is. I wasn't going far, Jackie, go on. But if you're able to, adjust to this way of life, I don't think you'd ever want to go back to your home country. But it does take a certain type of person to live here. It really does. It does. It's not for everybody. Certainly not. And being married to a Filipina is, once the honeymoon period is over, and you've got to get used to their ways. It's the same as they've got to get, used to our ways. We keep saying them. What about us? We've got our ways, which they have to adjust. But one thing I will say is, when we come over here and we settle and we marry and we buy land and we build a house for our partner or wife, because it's not ours, we've given up everything. These Filipinos have not given up anything. So we're the one who sacrificed everything. We've sacrificed our lives in our own country, which, let's be honest about it, people, it's not a great sacrifice, is it? The way things are going in our own countries. That's why we come to different countries, because we can't bear living in our own countries. Most of us, like a lot of us, come over here for a woman. But anyway, so yeah, when we do come here for a woman, they've got to think that we've sacrificed everything. And maybe like a lot of you don't think this, but we have. We've given up everything. The Filipinas have given up nothing. So we've got everything to lose, and they've got everything to gain, if you look at it like that. Because if it goes wrong with your Filipina, then their life doesn't change. Our life has changed because we've given up everything in our home countries and come here. Maybe that's food for thought. Maybe that's worth thinking about. And I think, not being negative, but we have to think about this, I didn't, but luckily I'm okay. But, you know, we have to think, what if it doesn't work out? What if it goes wrong? What am I going to do? Well, a lot of us will probably go back to to your home country. When it went wrong for me, first time, I stuck it out. I stayed here. I just moved on. And I did that because that's just the way that I'm built. I wasn't going to let something like a broken down relationship affect my dream of living in a foreign country. Not necessarily the Philippines. This is where I ended up. Because I went to Japan and I went to Korea. South Korea, obviously, not North. Not a good place. And then I ended up here. So for me, I wouldn't give up my dream and I wouldn't give up my way of life just over a broken relationship. I picked myself up, which I did, and start again. Because there's no woman on this earth that's worth, this is just my opinion, there's no woman on this earth worth you giving up your life for. And I mean that by when you break up, don't let them drag you down. Pick yourself up. There's plenty more pebbles on the beach. You know, there's plenty more fish in the sea. Yes, when I broke up from the first girl I was here, that was my choice. I was pleased because she was ooh. Never mind, there's a video about that as well. But I wouldn't let anything get in the way of my dream. And by having a girlfriend or a wife, you shouldn't rely on that. That should better your life, not hinder it. Meaning, when you marry someone here, don't let them tell you what to do all the time. You know, you are your own individual. You know, it's like me and my wife, we have an understanding. Whereas, if she wants to do, whatever she does, she does. And likewise, like for me, if I want to go out and meet my friends, I can. But I suffer the wrath when I come back if I'm gone for too long. That's the Philippine way. They're just a jealous kind of people, very jealous kind of people. But, don't let them, or any girl, not just them, Filipinas, anyone, rule your life. It's just not, it's not healthy. And you aren't doing what you want to do, you're doing what they want you to do. And that's just not right, is it? We've got our own ways of doing things. Filipinos have got their own ways of doing things. And like I said, we've got to adjust to them. And not only us adjusting to them, but they have to adjust to us as well. Because like I said, we've given up everything. How many fallen men has the Philippines taken? How many victims? Many. Like I said, when we come over here, we are the ones who are risking everything. The Filipinos are not risking anything. They've just got everything to better themselves. Like I said, if they break up with their foreigner who's give up everything and come in here, they just move on. They've got their family and friends here. They're in their own country. The foreigner then could be quite isolated. My little Jackie down there, look. There's a big bumblebee as well. He's gone past. And I said this to my wife before, when, it was like when we had the interview for the 13A visa. And the immigration guy, or the attorney as they are, was asking me many questions. And questions like, do I fit in here? Do I get on with my neighbours? This, that and the other. And I said to the immigration guy, I said, yeah, I do get on with my neighbours. I said, because I have no choice. And he said, well, what do you mean? And I said, because I'm here to make my life easier. I have to settle in and adapt to the way of life of the Filipinos. They haven't got to adjust of any way, shape or form. Just everything is given to them. And the immigration guy nodded his head in acknowledgement. And which is true. You know, why would they be asking us all the questions when it's us that's given up everything to marry this Filipina? You know, do you get what I'm saying? So many guys here have fallen victim. Many. But I've been here now for 8.5 years. I've been married for, well, we've been together for 7 years. 7 years. And we've been married for 4. Over 4 years. 4 years, May gone, or June gone. And I don't regret it at all. You know, like, I'm still living the dream, people. I'm still living a dream. And I wouldn't give up this life for anything. Like I said, if we ever split up, I would move on. No choice, but I certainly wouldn't go back to England. I would stay in the Philippines because this is the place that I now call home. And I've called this place home for a long time. Many of you people hate the Philippines. Many of you people hate it, and you haven't even been here. And I could understand, to a degree I can understand, because this is not for everybody. It's truly not. It's not all milk and honey. It's not all glory. It's not all beautiful women and beautiful beaches. It's not. It's very challenging. There are times with my wife when she's talking, and I've said this before, I think, and I think, what is she talking about? Where is this going to? Or where is it coming from? Or where has it come from? It's just, and I'm thinking, whew. But she probably thinks the same as me when I talk to her about things. And half the time, she doesn't listen, in fact, probably 3/4 of the time, she doesn't understand what I'm talking about, because they've got a different way of saying things. Their sentence structure is even totally different to, you know, to ours. Their pronunciation. So, although we've been together for a long time, my wife doesn't understand everything that I'm talking about. In fact, she probably understands very little of what I'm talking about. And it's the same with me. You know, I'm thinking, what's she on about? So I said, Mira, you know, what do you mean? You know, rather than say, what are you talking about? I'll say, what do you mean? And then she'll explain it in a different way, and then I do get what she's talking about. And that's not challenging for me, to be honest with you. It's just, and we have a laugh about it these days. Because I will say to her, when I'm talking about something, I'll say, did you understand what I'm talking about? And she'll go, yeah. I say, so what am I talking about? And she'll just say a little bit, and it's generally not related to what I'm talking about. It's just how it is. It's how it is. But it is quite funny. You know, I mean, if you let it frustrate you, it will frustrate you. Just think of it as, it is what it is. It is what it is, people. The chickens are going mental, which probably, I was told, and it's true actually, because I checked it out. When these hens are making this kind of racket, it's normally because they've got chicks and there's a snake around. And the chickens are very good at detection of snakes, apparently. I don't know. So when I hear that, I get a little bit afraid. So I'm not going to walk up there for a minute until they calm themselves down. Because there are lots of snakes in here. I've seen a couple. Hopefully, I never get bitten by one. But yeah, I have seen a couple of snakes. But not here. I saw them close to the house. So that's why we keep the surroundings of the house clean. It's important to keep the surroundings of your house clean. And someone's come down here on a motorbike, so I'm going to have to go here. That's why the chickens are going crazy. There's someone coming down on motorcycles. They are operating chainsaws. They're cutting down coconut trees. So I'm going to go down here. Because obviously as well, with this privacy thing, you can't put people in videos unless you get permission from them. See the bikes, you're probably seeing behind me going past. It's going to be a noisy day with these chainsaws today. It was noisy yesterday, noisy the day before. But that's how it is. This tree here, people, this tree is called a pricata. I don't know the English name. But that's what they make toothpicks, matchsticks and plywood from. That tree there, it's called a... There's two different types. There's a red pricata, which is the strong stronger one. Yeah, and the white briquetta, which is that one, which is what they make the toothpicks, matchsticks and plywood from. Anyway people, that's it. I'm going back home now. Breakfast time. I left this morning because my wife was cooking bullard. Oh god, even after all these years I can't get used to the smell. So I come out and I thought I'd do a video. She'll be finished now, but the smell will be lingering. No doubt, the smell will be lingering. I'm going to have a normal breakfast, like sausages, eggs, some fried mushrooms, tinned mushrooms may I add, and some beans and 2 slices of toast. That's what I'm going to have. And she's had her bullard and rice. But people, thank you for dropping by. Take good care whatever you're doing today. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share and hit the notification button. Thanks people. Bye bye. There's my house now, by the way. The windows are in upstairs. Hold on, I'll show you quickly. 12 windows upstairs. They are all in now, and obviously around the side of the house and the front of the house. But that's it people. Thank you very much, and see you next time. Bye bye.